And the plane is, well, fair to just about everyone. This is probably the most even plane we've had so far in the PEL for Erangel. It does give options open to just about everyone to drop where you like. Now the question is, and they did just hear it on the desk, will the teams that are covering the bridges think, Navi on Sosnovka, let's collect ourselves 4 points?
I mean, there's only one game, and anything can change. Obviously, we're starting north down to south, west to east direction. As you mentioned, Lee, it's pretty open, split across. Start off just to the east of Zaki, all the way down to Nova. I mean, for the Navi boys, they might even go to Nova. You never know, it could be open for them. They actually opt to do that. Gives them some easy loot if they want to get the boots on the ground and crack on really, really quickly. We'll see. They might opt to take melee and just continue on as normal. Further afield, again, this is a plane that gives everybody their home position, if you will call it. You can now see NIP are back up in Georgiapol, or WTSG as they used to be known as. Welcome to South George. A couple of warning shots I'm actually seeing already on the map. Edge do have ARs in play and trying to shoot people who are still parachuting down onto the ground. NIP obviously need to get down as soon as possible, land on those apartments. Back six, front six. Interesting plays coming out of Red Diamonds. Obviously they're overextending to get the vehicle so they can maneuver, but you can already see this in doing so. One of NIP have opted to go further into the crate, Georgia Ball crates. This now kind of puts a bit of a spanner in the works, because Red Diamonds are going to have to completely bail out of that one and redirect themselves. So it'll slow them down. They've got the vehicles, they can go back to doing what they normally did. I still think for Red Diamonds, this is me just speaking hypothetically, obviously what's working for them is working fine. There's two potential options that could happen here. NIP could play aggressive and give them a bit of a kick and maybe stop them playing this hospital area and allow NIP to do a more easily accessible looting run. They could do whatever they want and maybe kick them out of hospital. But I still think Red Diamonds could play the tempo storm game. I think they could take West Coast and be living the high life. No one really to bother them. Plenty of vehicles, plenty of loot. I mean, hell, it's working for tempo.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong.
Nobody's done it. Nobody else has done it.
Amazing players. Yeah. I mean, Sharky on that team is a god. He's an absolute monster. There's some really big fraggers over there. It's not as just simple as, oh, well, they're winning everything because of West Coast. There's some differences, but I still think they're looting way too close, and it's very limited to what they can get. And if you do get in these early scraps and engagements up north, you've always got NIP to try and rotate off the back of. And this is just me rambling on. I'm not a big fan of it. I think they could go elsewhere. There's open ground for them. But, yep, this one should be a bit more of a slower game. I'll let you talk a little bit more about the circle if you want, Lee, and see how this is going to pan out. Yeah,
and just to follow, like, Hospital's not the greatest, honestly.
If it can support two players, I'll be stunned.
Yeah, I don't know. It is a risk, but we'll see how it works out for Red Diamonds, as you say. We've talked about this off air as well, about the whole West Coast strategy, the fact that nobody else has really done it in Europe. You know, Tempo have done it from the very beginning.
Day one.
Yeah, from
literally
the very beginning. And they were kind of forced into it, and they've made it their own.
Zampa used to be a bugger because he would take that coast, and I think they still do it now. They actually shoot out tyres on vehicles lingering around there, so no one else can really even push into them. If they get a vehicle and go up there looking for gear, there's nothing. They mop it up. They take out the utility. They take away the vehicles from people, and it's completely theirs. And I just think, you know, if you're Red Diamonds coach or Red Diamonds players taking a look at this, there's better options for me.
So we were talking about it last game, and the fact that now Pachinki is very much Team Liquids. They do get their quicker loot path out, and 4 minutes they're on the move. You think of obviously yesterday they're caught in a clash with Navi, and we were looking at 10 minutes before they were even remotely moving out of Pachinki. So it's opened up Team Liquid. We'll see how much it opens up Navi. Of course, they're going Sosnovka and getting themselves the Nova and the military base area. So they've got all the loot they want, Team Liquid. I mean, this is a tricky circle. You would think most people will plumb for the mainland. It could swing south, but as you can see, Sosnovka being kind of sliced 60-40, I would say. Generally, we expect it to be swinging towards the mainland, so it's a bit too much to try and commit further south. May actually see Jokers holding a longer gate camp, though, because of this circle, knowing full well that Navi are over that bridge.
I know Liquid don't have Navi to pester them anymore, but I mean, hell, that is an insanely quick pre-rotation, it's not a pre-rotation, pre-move, preemptive move, getting out of Pachinki and going get set up. I'm intrigued to know what the economy is going to be like on those players. You know, if they're all rocking level 2s, they've got their ARs, they've got the smokes, they've got the meds, then happy days. But that's a really quick amount of time in Pachinki. That's in and out in no time.
Yeah, and you think, I mean, the plane did kind of go directly over them, but obviously Raise Your Edge would be the first ones out, so they could have been moving. But 4 minutes, yeah, I mean, that's obviously you think of time dropping down, time to get a vehicle. You're looking at like probably a 2.5 minute loot spray, and that's it. You're already moving. You know, before you hit the ground, obviously you're looking at 30, 40 seconds. So yeah, definitely interested to see how quick and how it works. It is something we used to see from Method as well. Obviously, he used to land in Pachinki, so it's certainly possible. A very quick movement, though. Vitality also on the move. They've come down south. Interesting to see what sort of positions they're looking towards. Obviously, a lot of hillside positions. More northerly positions than central, because, well, Central Point is pretty tricky, I would say. It's fairly open fields around there. NIP making their way south. They've managed to get past Red Diamonds without too many issues. They need to find themselves some sort of performance here on the final game of day 2 to really... just to get a bit of confidence, if anything, because they're a little bit down, I feel, every time I see them now, because they've had a rough first 2 days. FaZe Clan on the move, no surprises, just had to swing a little north of farm. Well aware that obviously TSM sitting in Milta and G2 in around that farm area. Probably see them going towards Potato Hill, and then scouting the territory, moving down, exactly what the Knights are doing.
I still can't believe we're in a situation where G2 is literally 5 kills away from triple digits in 10 games.
Yeah.
That's madness. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously there's some 70-pointers and 80-pointers up there, but they're literally on the borderline.
And if you were to compare it with, you know, obviously how the performances say, obviously you look towards the PCL that's just played out, you know, think of Reciprocity's amazing first few days and then Unity coming in. They're already matching them sort of performances, but against the very, very best that Europe has to offer. So it really has been a giant step up for G2. We knew they were good. They did so well in Minsk, and you know the first few days they basically secured qualification and then just took the foot off the gas and enjoyed the rest of the tournament. But to come here and perform the way they have with such confidence, and it's only going to breed more confidence, you know, for the rest of it. To have a great start, it just puts you in a more comfortable position of play. To just come up, turn up, and do your thing. They
don't fear anybody, and I think that shows in the gameplay. They are scared of no man, to be honest with you, and they accept every single challenge that wants to come their way. You can take a look at some of the kill stats, and this is the whole thing about the live API, which is wonderful. You can see who the real damage dealers are doing. Nasus obviously stepping up for Vitality when it matters most on the biggest stage in European PUBG. And then okay, speaking of bridge camp, there's the barrel. There's the initial knock coming through. Straight back onto knock, swings around. ENCE taking full advantage here of a choke point. I like it. This is what I wanted to see more, but unfortunately needs to get going himself up on Everest. A Hail Mary rain of bullets just comes flying down. Squiggy's like, well, okay, that's 2 points, but I need to get the hell out and stay alive and make sure that those 2 points were worth it, to be honest with you, because, again, you're at this point where every single time it's a game of poker. You look at the hand, is the play worth it?
Yeah, Raise Your Edge could have done with some of those points as well. Snark actually got himself a good spot to try and cover them off. It does move generally the way that most teams have kind of guessed, as expected. It does pull away from the main Sosnovka Island, so into the mainland, and now we see, obviously, Team Liquid's position. They did rotate early. They went for really the main area of the hillside. Snark, we saw his position. Oh, that is dirty. A belting headshot landed on it was Trifoli that gets taken down, but that's a hard shot. He's doing, what, 120 on that bike, boosting it, and he just caught the headshot. What a shot.
Fuzzface, unfortunately, has also been caught in the crossfire. He's down, not out yet, as he'll be able to get the lift. But yeah, that was a snap and a half on the back of the bike.
I mean, that's a hard vehicle to track.
6 more. He's getting pushed. You got to be aware of this one. You have 2 to 3 Finnish people breaching this building any second.
We've seen this breach so often. Okay, Sixmo is just backing straight out. That might catch Rustamar out. It does. Gets the flush as well. Quickly catches it and steals the bike, but no! This gets run over! Oh, that was harsh. Where there was almost a hit and run. But
I mean, it was a good effort to put the nade down because you can use the noise. Obviously, with the nade going off, it's a loud explosion. People's ears are ringing. And you can jump out of those windows. It was already pre-smashed, I believe, so they would have got the initial one to get out and then just scare the guy out the back. He completely caught him with his pants down, but then the vehicle just comes out of nowhere and demolishes him. FaZe now Liquid home territory. Will move into the back of Pochinki. They could probably chill there for a while and maybe even push through Pochinki, to be honest with you, and get the front side of it further into the center. Na'Vi looking for a foothold on this one. They don't have too much to play with, but Tulin's obviously been off and done his job and take a further look, being the scout on the back of the bike. They're here for now, which is good. TSM are in a tricky one. They have Vitality Linger. They're literally on the yellows, we like to call them, over here on the rock side. There's all the little cabins. These won't have been looted, so if they need to get any extra gear, they can do. Have a look for a couple of meds, maybe the odd level 2 if someone's still rocking a level 1. Gustav with the SKS, and we've got Wookie with the Mini, so they've got a bit of some decent range on them, which is good. I'm also not sure if there's any level 3s. I did see a crate kicking about. Whether they got it or not was a different subject.
I'll tell you what, G2, they're keeping an eye. Vitality are taking pot shots on people. G2 are coming to have a look at them. Obviously, they are some of the top teams right now, been sort of challenging each other, but I think they're going to maybe just have some long-range pokes. Back to that ENCE fight, of course, with Digital Athletics. It was a big fight because that is a really strong compound to come in. And obviously, ENCE had just lost a couple of people in the rotations as well. Raise Your Edge catching them off guard. So they really needed that compound. That was pretty much a do-or-die move for them. Obviously, did lose one, so they're down to 2 now.
It's a good bit of territory for two men. You know, at least the last 2 standing. So they need to hope it kind of goes their way.
That's a wide spread for Vitality in their lives.
You know who's got an even bigger spread? It's Liquid. They have a 4-man split.
Good Lord,
they have 4 individual compounds. I think next time we bring the map up, we'll give the people at home a real quick look at how Liquid are currently, because they're completely apart. They're in 4 different compounds, at least 100 to 200 meters apart.
We saw them doing similar on the Gatka play as well, if you remember back in day one.
Again, you can't read where these circles are going to go. So the more players you can put in different locations, the better chance you have. So now where Samty is, you would probably expect he has the biggest compound. It's more close to the center that all 3 members of Liquid are on the outskirts move towards him.
Have you ever cast, I mean, we've cast a lot of games at Twinshare. Have you ever cast a Pochinki finish?
Yes.
An actual in-city Pochinki finish?
Yes. Everyone just sat in buildings.
Yeah. I don't
actually
think. I mean, I've had it in pub games, but I don't think I've ever had it competitive.
The back end twice.
They're all going for it. They're all getting in there. So G2 and Na'Vi about to clash with one another. They're coming in towards the Harry Potter, the south side of Pochinki. FaZe were in the north side already, remember?
Na'Vi, like, this is familiar territory. We've been here before.
Yeah.
It's a bit quieter than normal.
Straight into Team Liquid.
It's literally, it's going to be a 5-way. I'm very surprised, though, FaZe haven't taken a further advantage of this one, to be honest with you. They've always been on the backside, and they said they could have gone deeper into Pochinki to be more centralized. They haven't. They've sat back. But then again, they do have the information of where all the teams are behind them. Liquid, Na'Vi, G2, they're all
he's got an M249 each.
Go for it. Go on, Gaxi, lad.
Oh, I just had a rage.
A bit of that.
Tried to pull up. The NIP and Joker's kind of racing with one another around the top here, but they're going to bump into Raise Your Edge. M19 are in the compounds outside of Pochinki, along with Pittsburgh Knights there, just out on the north side as well. So this rotation's kind of going to run straight into Raise Your Edge, and they needed all the kills they can get right now.
He actually hit him through the window. I think he actually still cracks him. He's down. They're going for... Oh, that's not good. 1, 2, 3 members of NIP back to back to back, down and dead. That's an awful rotation for NIP.
Gax is left alone, not really sure where he can go. Looks like he's going to try and go further north towards the ruins. That is a bit of a hit for them. TSM decided to send it.
249's actually helped him because he's avoided it. He's avoided the danger.
TSM looks like they're going to go Barnes, maybe. They're going to continue further north. I would say they, obviously from our point of view, we can see exactly what's available. They have to go for it. Gaxi, oh no, he's spinning, he's lost. He's down and out, and NIP 16th place, and it's Raise Your Edge to collect themselves the 3 points. And NIP, I've got to be honest, they're going to be slipping down towards the bottom of the table now.
They've not had a good 2 days, but it's the first of many, and anything can happen. Snack goes down. Wanted wants to get involved in this one as well. He's got an off angle on them, to be honest with you. They're all fixated and focused on that building, but Cup of Magic and Wanted could really throw a spanner in the works here and hit them in the back where it hurts.
Is G2 moving on FaZe in Pachinki? No, they've moved to the edge of the building. I can just see it on the map, though. We'll keep our eye on what's going on here, because Razor Edge Jokers clashing. And this is a big fight for Razor Edge. If they can pick up more kills here, of course, Jokers have been doing very well today, taking a number of kills. We do see, I think that's Samty down in the pip there. That's down in Pachinki.
Ooh, where's that fight? Where's the TSM one?
Michael. Oh, TSM have tried to come in onto the compound with M19. The circle centers, does go towards Pachinki once again. So this is a battle for position. These guys are completely out of the next zone as D-Mash finds him and collects him down. You can see the new circle update there. It is a bit of a cluster. M19 and TSM with Pittsburgh Knights all clashing to the northern side. You can see CrowCrowd. They're getting involved in this. They're shooting in the back there, but the nade comes out. D-Mash finds Narc and Fast Rail and Razor Edge. They had the position, but it doesn't seem to be their fight. Oh, the nade from Uber!
Brexico dead. Kane down. G2 damaged. Certainly not out. Chris lingering the building, hoping that someone walks his way. Cup of Magic has to fall back to Wanted because Razor Edge have been completely split apart. They were hoping they could get a bit of a foothold on this one, to be honest with you. They had a decent off angle, but things just didn't seem to go their way. Poor man's Pachinki over here, just up north from it on the map, or down south if you want to come down the hillside. Move across and talk about an uphill battle. Red Diamonds, everyone just holding grenades in the hand, hoping that Winstrike want to try and press the advantage here on the hillside. Okay, they have the hill advantage, but all they have is trees to hide behind.
Well, Winstrike out of position here. Red Diamonds trying, kind of gatekeeping him, but honestly, that was nice from a doozy. SLR finds ahead. He will pop down. Kramer's found Michael as well. Meanwhile, Squeaky tries to push in on CrowCrowd. Magister will go down, but he kind of cost him. Now, will he get pressured off this? I don't think he will, because, the other two are all too far away. Dream for You and Set, you can see them on the minimap just off to the west there, so they need to get involved. Iro actually sniffing out some kills here as they head towards ENCE at the moment and look to try and get involved.
Unless TSM have vehicles, they die here. It's as simple as that. You've got Pittsburgh Knights up on the hillside watching all this unfold and being able to lay down so much cover fire from afar, to be honest with you, because they have full line of sight on this.
That car is not going to last long. Teamy just about gets out. Best of Luck was actually down. It was Tixu that pushed the hill while they distracted them there. Meanwhile, we can see the kill feed is lighting up, so that's M19 and TSM continuing to clash. We'll probably get that in a pip in a moment as we watch Winstrike pushing on. ENCE, meanwhile, picking themselves up another kill. There's TSM coming around. It's Constantine that's up on high. Rory and Gustav trying to pressure his position. Razor Edge, meanwhile, will go down. The fight finally concludes. They kind of ran parallel with each other outside the Ruins hillside, and Jokers will finish them out. Constantine now last man standing against TSM.
They kind of need to clear him out. I mean, they don't have to. They could move in with the blue and leave him up here, but he's obviously going to be a thorn in the back. There you have it. There's one. Snap to the second. There's two. He's done so much damage. The blue might just finish him off. He is a little bit too late.
And Fuzzface gets involved and Nick's Drayden in the back. So while the Pittsburgh Knights tried to push down on TSM and M19, Fuzzface gets aggressive and FaZe Clan come out the side. Wookie gets Kramer down and Voxic. He just needs to get the heal off. Is it going to be enough? I think he should be safe. This is only phase 3, I think, or phase 4 blue. So we'll get the full heal off. That's what we like to see. And now Wookie needs to book it.
That's mental. What a monster. The land giant steps up when it matters most and picks 2, and it's rather unfortunate that guy were in the tower because, I mean, I said that's where TSM die. If they'd have kept up, he might have just been able to keep them in the game here. Reels is, I think, last man standing for Pittsburgh Knights up on the hill, so Wookie could do so much, and the circle's kind of gone his way, so, you know, the further you are away from it, the more damage it will do in the blue. He can happily run in here. He has to be careful of Jokers that are on his right-hand side.
Wookie is pinned. Reels has got him.
Yeah, he's got him dead to
rights. Off at the moment. Red Diamonds, a doozy back round the backside of Tixu, Jorski, Nookie. You can see Hello Senpai just getting an angle as well to flank around them. He's going to get him down. The doozy just pinned, but it doesn't matter because swinging around the side. Timmy gets himself one, but Wookie will go down. Reels finds him. Jorski is going to get revived from Nookie here. Where is Hello Senpai? He's on the flank, but he's not doing the damage at the moment. He can't seem to get an angle.
TSM go out, but certainly Wookie Bookie at least takes a few members with him as the team does fall. I've just seen one member of Team Liquid go down as well from distance. Digital Athletic playing spoiler over in the farm compounds just to the left of Pachinki behind the church. Tab's actually hunting a player over on the northern edge of the circle. Watch for Reels potentially going down in the kill feed. He does. Pittsburgh Knights, they're out, but it's on about this fight now. Winstrike heading up the hill. Hello, Senpai. He does have their number written. Spins around on a pinhead.
ENCE is sending it. He's going to go straight in. Squeaky goes down, and that's going to be them going out in 9th. So Na'Vi. G2's movement has been very interesting in Pachinki. I've been keeping an eye on them in the map.
Slow and steady.
They were up north by FaZe, backed away, got knocked by them. Big nade came in, but they got the revives off. Then they went round to the building right next door to Na'Vi. Thought about it, and then have back over the street again. And crossing that street in Pachinki is pretty risky at the best of times, but they seem to be going back and forth, doing it quite happily. It's Squeaky's death run straight into Recruit. No doubt about that one. Simple headshot for him. So it does look like it's verging in towards G2. We can see FaZe holding a lot of the hillside right now, but the Jokers are trying to spread around.
Yeah, they've got no vehicles as well. They might go for the crate and see if they can get some sort of armor because they'll need it. The next obstacle in their way is V for Victory, Vitality, all the way down at that southern compound.
That's a tough push.
Yeah, I mean, to try and breach this, you've got to come down, to be honest with
you.
Oh,
and Recruit gets him from the long range with that car M24, and that's put all sorts of problems. They're going to be low on meds because they've been knocked so many times with Red Diamonds, and yeah, it's actually Na'Vi that will steal away 3 of the frags. Teamy down there, Recruit, you can see from long range, just popping those shots off. Tixu will be finished off. Teamy, can he get the heal off? Or he's only got bandages, and yeah, he's Dunzo to the wins, the play zone.
Na'Vi doing so much there to steal so many points away from Vitality. Vitality shot up the table after a couple of really good performances early on.
FaZe are going looking for Jokers. Uber and Fuzzface actually making a push out on the north side of Church. Nades from Na'Vi onto G2 there. It's Uber that might find Dimash. You can see the lay of the land.
They are spread, though. That's the only problem. The tab could cause a bit of a nightmare here because of the off angle that he has. If he somehow manages to knock either Fuzz or Uber, it puts them in a really tricky situation. I think FaZe are actually going to retreat this one, come back into
circle shrunk.
Pulling it back into Pachinki, get themselves together, get themselves the decent compound, and take a foothold in Pachinki. Because honestly, grab a compound, boys. This is going to town.
So Vitality, here we go. 2 vehicles, they're going for it. They know that Na'Vi is ahead of them. They've got to go around the side. While we do see FaZe actually engaging with the Jokers and catching Kemba out. They're going to go around the south side, and that's the safest route for Vitality here. Absolutely. Should get in fine, I think, barring any grenades. Meanwhile, Ibiza has found Digital Athletics. That's not something they planned on. Samty gets around the side, and DA are safe in the Harry Potter.
All of Vitality made it into the circle, but they are on the edge, and there's Na'Vi directly in front of them. Na'Vi have the entire left-hand side of the street. When you look towards Pachinki, you're going to see all these yellow bodies leading up to the top, where you'll see Team Liquid. A couple of members have managed to get it in from the farmhouse over on the side of Digital Athletic, taking up in the Harry Potter. The Joker's still playing the edge game, unfortunately, as pretty much directly in front of them, you have a wall of FaZe Clan. And then, in the middle of all this, just to throw it up in the air, make it even more of a mixed match, you've got G2 just sitting there, hoping that someone lingers into town a little bit too far.
Well, we got 4 invited teams and 3 qualified teams. This is the sort of battles we really wanted to see in the final 7, but when it's in such close quarter combat, it can be tricky, a game of inches. I like the spread that FaZe had, but Mex has had to give up on the garage now because it's the play zone that will be slowly squeezing in it. They had all the angle on Jokers. Jokers are going to be literally the Joker in the pack at the moment because they're going to go around the back side of the church and cause problems with Team Liquid and Digital Athletics.
Deer won't be able to see them because of the angle of that Harry Potter. Unless he gets stabbed in the back here, being outside, that they are so fixated now onto Liquid. He might get away with this, you know. He might pick up a few frags.
Yeah, Senya and
clear him out
Tab
and
are
then take their
gonna
position.
Just silhouette in a second. I guess the only thing that will stop them is actually Team Liquid taking shots on them.
Yeah, if Tabs gets, if silhouettes and gets spotted by Jempty and Sampty, I don't really see any range. I've not seen any minis coming out. So, again, you're spraying at range with an AR. It's not the worst gun in the game. It does shift smack bang on FaZe, to be honest with you. They can hold the entirety one side of that circle. Here we go. Raises his head. Gets the initial knock through. His teammates are there as well. And now the Jokers, they are laying down the hammer.
Is the nade. That's just gonna. Is it gonna be an underhand? Oh, that's perfect. Yep. Yeah.
Bang.
Good night. You're all gone. That's gonna be at least one down. Vitality and Navi, by the way, crossing the street. They're going to be clashing with G2 in a minute, Navi. They're building to building as we watch D-Mash. Can he get the shot off? And this is what we're talking about. They're going to get a couple of angles, and Team Liquid will take shots on them, so they can't get too close.
Navi are being clever. They're getting ahead of the game because they know Vitality also has to rotate pretty much perpendicular to them. Navi, G2, and Vitality, they are within blocks of each other. Next door neighbors right now, and then across the street, you've got FaZe Clan. This is a rough neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to go all the way down to the wire. Because again, who's going to breach these compounds? Why are you going to bother running into them? You know everybody is going to be taking up residency here.
Team Liquid still. Oh, Jempty's gone. He's going over the road. Can he get... He's gone building to building. It's the Finnish brothers once again. Jempty's empty. Left to do it for Team Liquid. And still with 7 teams alive. We should mention, of course, how the point system works. There's not a great deal up for grabs if you go out right now. You want to get a higher position than 7th. That is for sure. And some of these don't actually have that many kills. Speaking of, there's a Kar 98 to the dome. The question is, now, will anyone move on that? Vitality have used that opportunity to actually move building to building and surround G2. They also caught a glimpse of Mexi in another building. Around the side there. Who's that getting sprint down? Jempty always on nothing in the smoke. And there's going to be a nade to follow. Up,
over. He's healed. He needs to run. Otherwise, that nade's going to absolutely slaughter him.
He got in. Oh, the nade still caught him in the door.
Inside
Would
the
you believe it?
Are they going to try and smoke this one? No, surely not. There's no way you can do that. Oh, dear.
Liquid is eliminated. Yeah, got an angle.
Yeah.
And Samty goes down as well. So, Team Liquid 7th place for them in their home Pachinki.
Navi laughing at that one, I suppose.
Still with 4 alive. They absolutely are, yeah. No doubt about it. But they got G2 nearby, or their circle shrinks onto FaZe Clan. The G-Core chants coming out from days gone by.
I mean, we say it shrinks onto FaZe. Honestly, I think this is anybody's game.
It centers on anyone, really.
Yeah. Navi have probably got the most work to do behind the Jokers, obviously, who have to come into this circle.
No, they got the church. The Jokers are happy.
They do, but once the next circle goes ahead, you've got to come out of church, right? And it's a downhill battle, unless you decide to run probably more to the left-hand side, which will give them those dips and divots to play with. But then you've got ENCE, who's going to be holding that angle, specifically waiting for anybody who wants to come over. FaZe have set themselves up in a position that they now have players watching every single angle. This is a really good split from them. They've read it super well.
The problem is, if they do get a knock, that's kind of done and dusted, unless someone can get across to help them out here. D-Mash just going to rip the door off its hinges and see if he can get something with a bit of a lucky spray. Not going to work out for him, but does get a couple of tabs, and now the nades will follow. It doesn't quite go in the doorway, which is what they were hoping for there. Mert, did he just get an angle? The smoke's down, so we can't quite see him. Now he sees him, catches a glimpse, gets the spray down. Tab will catch him. He will be down, and now Ira, the last man standing for DA. They're pushing, they're pushing.
Is real. He's down. He's dead. Nail in the coffin. Digital Athletics, they end their run here on the 10th and final server of day number 2. Senna will reposition, make sure FaZe Clan isn't creeping up behind them. But just look at that. Look how many teams still have 4 alive. In fact, the 2 teams that don't have 3 alive. This is insane.
Yeah, the Jokers could cause problems for FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan want to focus on what's ahead of them. And obviously with Navi and G2 basically building to building, Vitality next door. But FaZe have got Jokers creeping around their backside at the moment.
I still can't believe Vitality didn't get a single one of those kills earlier on when we were looking towards Winstrike.
We're in Phase 9 with 18 alive, Rich. Phase 9 with 18 alive. Now,
in Pachinki.
The central dot is on top of Uber and Fuzzface. So they don't need to move. They don't need to peek. They don't need to look. But they want the frags. Of course they do. 9 kills and counting for the Jokers, by the way, so far. Chris finds Batulian. Will that be them go move? Yes, it will be. D-Mash gets involved. He steals the kill away. Chris, well, of course he's involved. Sadovnik goes down, and G2 looking to try and punish Navi as they move into towards the center.
All the smoke walls are coming out because the blue is pushing in, and all this does now is center and smack bang in the center of that. You've got the FaZe Clan waiting with open arms. D-Mash picking up all the players that want to try and go a little bit earlier to this one. Again, because of this hill that they have now in control of on on the Church side, they don't have to necessarily worry about FaZe. They can just try and pick up everybody else who wants to come out with the backs up against the blue. Na'Vi, G2 still kicking the hell out of one another. Vitality sitting happy. They've yet to raise their head. But once they do, you can guarantee they will take some scalps. But then again, they might not be able to. Everybody might be dead by the time that comes around.
Mexi goes down to the play zone, and G2's move kind of backfired because of the Jokers on the hillside. Fuzz gets shadowed down. You can see Senya gets Vitality also down. Jazza, Jokers gets involved. 80 pops off and gets Senya down. FaZe are looking good for this one as Vitality losing numbers. Nasaso pops around the corner and gets Recrent down, so Na'Vi out in 4th place as Senya makes the move, but 80 catches him out up on the hillside. D-Mash and Tab try to turn around. They get 80 down, and Tab is now on the back door. Uber's low, and now they're trying to push for it. This is more time for Vitality to make the move.
This is absolutely fantastic from Monkey. He's gone early. The Tab's already there, but Fuzz has spotted this one. They're moving up against the back of it. He will get the knock, not the flush through. That's fine. But this is brilliant movement. Put all the smokes down. Uber doing what he can. The boys just need to do something. They're knocking on the door. Their answer's there. FaZe Clan just waiting for people to come forward, and that's all they keep doing. Body after body.
80 gave them the information and saw them coming and making the cross there. Yeah, they realized that this guy is giving them all the information. They lost 2 in the cross, and Monkey now is solo. We've also got it's Tab that's in there from the Jokers, so 3 teams alive. And of course, 2 of them standing for FaZe Clan at the moment. 1 low, 1 high. Uber finds Tab, gets around the side, and Fuzzface picks it up.